Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Riza, and my topic is SpongeBob SquarePants and the Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I'm going to be talking about the game itself and the remake that is to come, slated to come at the end of this year, hopefully. Okay, so let's first start with level design. Um, there's the aesthetic pleasure in the level design because everything in the level is just so, the world is just so colorful and vivid, and it really jumps out and pops at you, and it's such a friendly feel. Um, Still, the game is riddled with obstacles and challenges which provide like length and challenge and just difficult things into the game, and it's fun for all. It's really a cathartic experience. So next we have the playable characters. There's SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. In throughout the entire world, no matter which level or you go into or any of it all, you can never be in one area and get more than two of the characters. So when you go to a bus stop, that's how you change characters, you see. So when you go to a bus stop, you can't actually switch to Sandy, Patrick, and SpongeBob. It has to be between SpongeBob and Patrick, SpongeBob and Sandy, Patrick and Sandy. You it's whatever is required in the world in that level at the time. That is what is available to you at the bus stop. It's programmed that way. It's really a great feature, and it's very cool. um so the character abilities, why can you only have certain characters at each bus stop? Why is that? So SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy each have their different special abilities. SpongeBob has his base attack, the bubble spin. Patrick has the belly attack, that's his base, and Sandy has her karate move. That's her base. SpongeBob's special attack move is to bowl a bubble, and that's like his ranged attack. Patrick's ranged attack is much worse, far more limited. I personally do not like Patrick, but he is essential for some parts of the game because throwing objects at certain things far away in the air, that may be essential and is essential for some aspects throughout the world. Then Sandy has her lasso, and she uses her rope to pull in things closer to her and destroy them. SpongeBob has a cruise bubble, which is a secondary range attack, and he's able to control where the attack is going to go up to 3 seconds. He has 3 seconds for it to be a viable thing before just self explode, like it blows up and vanishes. Patrick's last thing, and another thing that makes Patrick less of a character, because he only has 3 moves. He only has 3 abilities. His third one is a body slam, where he jumps up in the air and he slams down on the ground. And that's all for him. So, it's pretty bad, to be honest. Sandy has a glide where she jumps up in the air and she can glide down to faraway places. And this is essential for getting past, like, far distanced platforms. The SpongeBob will transform into this ball, this circular ball, and he will roll around the world at a pretty fast pace, and it's pretty useful for getting through races and things such as that throughout the world, whatever it may be. Uh, when there's like a ramp, it's very useful because he'll just fly and get to where he needs to be. Something that Patrick and Sandy, although Sandy can glide, she can't do. And Patrick, no way. Patrick's like the clumsy, can't do anything. Sandy has the Texas trailer hitch, and this is where she can jump up, and so there'll be like strings hanging up in the air, and she can grab onto each of those with her lasso and go from one to the next and just keep going until she's out of until the world has no more hitches for her to grab onto. It's cool. It's useful. It has to be done in several parts of the game, but it's still not as good as SpongeBob's SpongeBall. Well, they're like interchangeable. They're both useful. Then you have SpongeBob's sneak move, and that's where he goes around on tippy toes, and he actually, like, enemies can't hear him if he goes up behind you. In sneak mode and while tippy toeing, enemies can't hear you, and you can get a jump on the enemies and you can kill them. It's really useful. Then Then you have enemy types, and so at the beginning of the game, it's very easy. Jellyfish, the fodder, which is like a really small robot, super easy, not harmful. I mean, it can harm you, but it's very easy to kill. Mid to end game, however, that's where it gets kind of hard. The Bombot is the usual robot, and he's decently hard to get rid of. He's about mid-game. The Duplicator 3000, that generates more enemies, and it's really annoying, and you really want to get rid of that as soon as you can. The Hammer is the big robot, and that he holds like ham he holds a ham. That's it. And he's really annoying. He swings it down like a club. Very rather annoying enemy, but he's about mid-level kind of. The tartar sauce is a ranged enemy, super annoying. Oh my god, worst enemy in the game. Hate him so much. Then you got Chuck and Monsoon, and they are both flying enemies. Chuck is not too bad, and neither is Monsoon, but they are towards the end of the game. Both of those. The police station holds files for every enemy in the game you have previously encountered. So now we have bosses, and you start off mini-boss. Well, the first mini-boss of the game, the King Jellyfish. Prawn and Flying Dutchman are both optional bosses. You don't actually have to kill them. But you could. They're both optional. Flying Dutchman is definitely a harder boss. He's sporadic. He moves across the level with lasers. I do not like that boss. He's not a good one. Robo Sandy, pretty easy. She's the first robot boss in the game. And she's pretty easy. I think she's the second boss that you encounter in the entire game after King Jellyfish. Then you got Robo Patrick. He's fairly easy-ish. You might die to him, you might not. He spits out acid. He's no good. Then you got SpongeBot Steel Pants, and he's coupled with Robo Plankton. They both. Okay, so you start with SpongeBot Steel Pants, and you kill him by going inside of his ear with the cruise bot. And then you get to Robo Plankton. It was the cruise bot, right? I think. Whatever. You get to Robo Plankton, and he flies around in this little thing, like a hat, and you have to kill him with that same thing, the cruise bot. Then, now, okay, fun facts. So that was a general layout of the game, and it's really cool. Super excited. Super excited to do this presentation. Like, so excited. So, okay, the town's movie theater. If you go into the town's movie theater with 40,000 flower credit things that you get in the game that you can collect from defeating enemies or just walking over them, placed throughout the level, you can buy, essentially, a new clip to be played, and that's really interesting. It has, like, credits and, not fan art, but, like, the way that they developed the game, super cool. Also, the game features the entire original voice cast, for the exception of Mr. Krabs' voice actor, who rarely actually lends his voice to video games. I don't know, he's just a stickler or whatever. Like, yeah. The bus stop in Rock Bottom, which actually I didn't even know you could get to, but if you go to the bus stop, and you stand there, a bus will actually approach you, and just like in the show. And then finally, in SpongeBob's bathroom, you can see a picture in his house of him, like, dressed up as this, like, princess, like baby, like, covering his private area, and it's really it's really funny. So definitely you should check all of that out. You should play this game. Very nostalgic, very good memory of playing this game. I love this game so much, entirely. So here's my works cited page, and lastly, I wanted to say thank you because actually, they are coming out with, believe it or not, a remake for this game. And I heard all this stuff, like that it was not a very well received game. There was not very much interest in more. But I Um, however, Purple Lamp Studio is in development of this upcoming remake, and I'm so excited to play this game, once again. Oh my god, like, I'm filled with bliss and just, I'm so happy. And yeah, that's pretty much it.